Good morning, children. Today I am going to teach you the story named BHOLI, written by K. Abbas. This story is completely based upon importance of education among female child. Here, the main characters are Sulekha, who is known as BHOLI in the story, Ramlal, father of BHOLI, Bishambar, Nath, an aged person who had been proposed to be married with BHOLI, and Bisambar Nath was a rich person who was a grocer by profession. Mother of BHOLI, who was not properly educated and was not aware of the value of education. Tahsildar was a very good person, government officer, and he had established a primary school in BHOLI's village. Now, as I have told you that this story is based upon the importance of education among girls, and during the phase of BHOLI's period, girls were not imparted proper education. They were kept inside houses, and just after coming up to the age of 15 or 16, or within 15 and 16 years, they were married by their parents. In real sense, it can be said that in those days, girls were considered as burden of their own family. Now, Shulekha was a very pretty girl at the period of her birth, but just after suffering from smallpox, her body was disfigured as the black pox marks were seen everywhere. Not only this, during the phase of her childhood phase, she had fallen from the cot, and just after that, due to falling, the veins of her brain were damaged. From that very phase, she used to remain in silent mode. Not only this, it has been written that till 5 years of age, she had not spoken even a single word. So in real sense, it can be said that from the very beginning of her life, she had faced a lot of difficulties, she had faced a lot of problems, and she was considered as disregarded child in her own family. She was not given proper care, and she was not treated properly, as her father had 7 children. Among those, 3 were sons and 4 were daughters, and she was the youngest one. So in natural sense, her parents were not paying proper attention towards her. And not only this, she was not enjoying her life even among her friends, because when she used to go among her friends, her friends used to make fun of her. Just after mimicry her sounds, they used to mimic her sounds, as she used to stammer from the very beginning when she started speaking. So in real sense, it can be said that BHOLI's life inside her own house was not very happy one. And she was considered as a burden by her family members. Her parents were worried related to her marriage, as she was not having beautiful face, she was not intelligent, she was not competent in every field. So naturally, her parents were considering her as a neglected child, and they were too much worried regarding her future. Once, Tahsildar came to her village and inaugurated primary school. And as her father was a Nambardar, revenue officer, so the Tahsildar suggested her father that he should pay proper attention towards female education, and her daughters must be admitted inside school to get proper education. So being the representative, being the government representative, Ramlal thought that if he would not take admission of his own daughter, definitely he would be blamed by the villagers. So regarding it, he discussed with his wife and ultimately tried his best to take admission of BHOLI inside primary school. He went to the school along with BHOLI, met the headmistress, left her there alone, and came back. In initial phase, as it was the first day of BHOLI in the school campus, she was not finding herself in a free mood. She was not finding herself in an easy mood. So definitely at that moment she was afraid within herself when she was placed inside the classroom. She sat in a corner, kept herself in silent mood, and saw everything colored over the wall, printed over the wall, and was comparing each and everything which she had seen just after keeping herself at home. Just after dispersal of the school, when the final bell rang, she was not moving anywhere, rather she was sitting in a corner and sobbing. At that moment, her class teacher came before her and addressed her in a soothing manner. Just after listening the soothing words BHOLI, she thought herself that the school was a better place for her than that of her home. And from that very day, she started coming to school regularly. Now, she was getting proper education and she was developing in a very proper manner, In real sense, it can be said that she came to know the real value of education and oriented herself towards getting proper knowledge. Just after a little span of time, when her parents started discussing regarding her marriage, her parents proposed a person whose name was Bishambarnath, who was an aged person and by profession a grocer. In comparison to Bholi's age and Bishambarnath's age, there was a big gap. But as he was a rich man, Bholi's parents thought that she would be happy along with him, as the rich man would be in position to fulfill all kinds of desire of Bholi. So ultimately, the marriage was finalized, and when the marriage ceremony was to be settled, Bishambarnath, being a greedy person, demanded extra dowry from the father of Bholi, and it was very difficult for Bholi's father to pay that heavy amount. So Bholi's father requested Bishambarnath to make him free without paying such a large amount. But Bishambarnath did not accept the proposal given by Ramlal, and he became rigid. At last, Ramlal went inside his house, brought the money and kept before Bishambarnath. At that moment, Sulekha, who was known as Bholi in this story, became too much aggressive and stated in a very forward manner that she was not ready to marry such a person who was not in a position to respect her parents, who was not well behaved, rather a very greedy person. And at last she refused to marry with Bishambarnath and stated before her father that she would serve in that very school where she had been taught, where she had gained proper education, and she would lead a better life than that kind of life under which she would have been married with Bishambarnath. In this way, she put an example that if a person gets proper education, a person can do each and everything as per his or her own desire. And if a person is not properly educated, he or she would have to lead a life of slavery. So, in short, it can be said that through this story, K. Abbas has put a special emphasis over female education and stated that girls will be independent in future just after getting proper education. They can lead better life, they can have better career. So female should be properly educated. Girls' children should be properly educated by their parents. And just after getting proper education, they would lead better life, they would choose better career, and they can lead independent and happy life. This is the main synopsis of this story written by K. Abbas, captioned as BHOLI. There are so many girls who are disabled in our society, but even after facing a lot of problems, if they are determined to do anything else in their career, they do and get success in their own lives. So this story is very impressive one, and it is a real source of inspiration which has been reflected by BHOLI in this story. Thank you very much.